Let's dig into my first A. It should really be called my toxic stage, but we're going to stay on track with what this series is about. See, no one wants to talk about how a church girl can be just as toxic as the ones who aren't raised in church. And honestly, I would say the church girl toxicity is a lot more dangerous than what people truly want to admit, mainly due to the fact that you can look like the complete package, which is socially, economically, and religiously acceptable. You resemble the essence of perfection, but in reality, on the outside, everything looks good. But you have a bad attitude mixed with a distorted and corrupt heart. Listen, in my aggressive stage, I'd say the best way to describe it would be chaos and conflict. I could go from a 0 to 1,000 real quick with my temper and anger. That temper has even had me in handcuffs and court ordered anger management courses and even on probation. All because I didn't understand how to handle or resolve issues or conflicts correctly. Now, I know you're like, yes, girl, let's get into that explaining more about those handcuffs and probation situation. But that's not what this story time is about. I'll figure out a time and a place to discuss all that because that opens up more of a discussion regarding the breakdown of the judicial system, racial profiling, and how certain races get to deem what qualifies you as a suitable and non suitable minority due to your economic class. So that won't happen in this space. But the example I want to use for this story time is a perfect illustration of me during my aggressive stage. When a friend would invite me to an event or party, the first thing I would say is who's all going and who's going to be there. But if I heard a name I didn't feel like I should be hearing, my response was quickly, oh, you can count me out. You know I don't deal with them. Oh, you know good and well I don't fool with that person. And my best one was, and you know good and well, I'm not blessing them with the presence of my glorious face. See, when you grow up in church, your shade, for some reason, still has to have some type of religious aspect to it. I don't understand and don't know why, but we just do it. Even when you say you don't want to be bothered with that said person, you still decide to go to the event or party just to prove a point. Now, a situation where only a few people might have known you didn't deal with or fool with old girl has now become a full on production, and everyone knows you have an issue with her. And you have now caused division and conflict at someone else's event due to you being in an aggressive stage of your womanhood. Now, I know y'all can relate to that story time. This stage was truly my worst stage, not just because being toxic is unbecoming, but because I was actively involved in the church and able to still be so toxic. The problem was actually due to the fact that I loved the Lord and had a relationship with Him, but I wasn't allowing Him to reign and rule first in my life. It can be easy to get caught up in the traditions, the routine, and just simply the aspects of religion that I forgot the most important part of what God is actually wanting and honors, and that's my heart. It took a wise woman that was in my court ordered anger management class to approach me during a break. Now, see, I might have kind of got into a little bit of a verbal altercation with the instructor of the class. I know. I'm there due to my anger issues and allowing it to be deemed true with arguing with the instructor that I truly do have anger issues. Please don't judge me. I promise you'll see the growth as the series continues. I promise. Well, this lady quoted a scripture to me that is a very common scripture. It was Matthew 6:21. For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. I'm a church baby and also a Southern girl. So I knew I had to be respectful to my elder. So I politely told the lady, this scripture does not apply to me. And she politely said back, oh, yes, it does. And your treasure is your perfectionism. And at that time, she began to go deeper in why she wanted to tell me that I was struggling with the fact of perfectionism. She said, anytime someone questions that flawlessness that you present, or views you in a less than perfect high standard, or tries to take something or someone away that I deem should be mine, I'm ready to fight. Now, she got my attention with the last statement because I'm the baby of my family with a little bit close to a 7 year age gap. So I was spoiled, and sharing what's mine ain't happening. I honestly wish I could say that I heard her words and immediately shaped my life into becoming a better woman, into becoming from this aggressive stage to an anointed one. However, I can say that her words were a seed planted in my heart. And I can say that I slowly started moving towards the next A in my journey. So stick around, stay tuned to check out what that next A is in my journey.